How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella, and today we'll be doing a review. And if you want your band reviewed, you can always go to any of the links in the description box below and contact me with your information, or you can go to the back end of my channel and email me at that email there. If you feel so generous, I do accept promos or advance copies of the album or EP that you would like reviewed. And if you don't have the means to send anything, I'm still willing to check it out on your Bandcamp or YouTube, etc., and see if it's worthy enough of being reviewed. Because on this channel, if you don't know, I do like to at least do a review on a band that I think can warrant a 7 or a 70 out of 100%, because other than that, I feel like it's kind of doing a disservice to the band or album or EP that I'm currently reviewing, and that's not really the greatest promotion. I kind of like to take Runner JMA's mindset when it comes to this kind of thing, and that is praise the good, ignore the bad. So if it's bad, I'm not going to review it on here unless someone really wants me to for some reason. Then I guess I can, take a dump on your album if you really want me to, but for the most part, I do just review things that I find enjoyable. All right, so getting that out of the way, let's talk about this. This is the debut album by Azzaya, and it is the Satanick Ascension, released October 22nd of this year, 2021. Besides this, they also have a demo and split, both released September 2nd of this year, and they are a black metal band, an international black metal band with members hailing from Greece, Turkey, and Portugal, so that's pretty cool. The members in question are Grito on vocals, Azzaya on guitar and bass, and the Retro Fornicator on guitar and drums. So let's get into the vocals. The vocals are about mid-mix in the volume, just under the guitar at times. The vocals are consistent overall, although the form could probably be improved on here and there. The style of vocals you get on here are kind of mid-tone black metal vocals, raspy, strained growls at times, with the odd kind of semi-squawked screams with more than likely light reverb and hall effects on the vocals. Moving on to the guitars, they are mid to high volume in the mix, slightly above the vocals at times. The tone is nice and crunchy. The balance between your left and right headphones or speaker is well balanced, and there's a good amount of gain and distortion. The style of guitar in this you can expect are fast tremolos. Obviously, it's black metal. Some aggressive, speedy power chords. Really interesting, like, raked harmonics here and there throughout the songs. I enjoy that. Spices it up a bit. And you can also expect some heavy palm muted sections. Really cool, where they like to do this chung 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 feel here and there. Not quite anywhere near breakdown territory, but it gives like a nice chunk feel to that part of the song. And of course, the odd dissonant riff, which creates kind of an eerie, dark, kind of ominous sound to it. Moving on to the bass. Sorry, Azzaya, I really couldn't hear your bass in this. It was low in the mix and couldn't quite hear the defining specifications on any riffs or anything like that, but it did give a slight hum to the background of the album, so I did know that it was there, just I couldn't pick up any sort of characteristics of it. So unfortunately, I can't do too much in the way of reviewing the bass on this album. But I can talk about the drums. The drums are about mid-mix in the volume, just slightly below the guitar at times. Not sure if the drums are programmed or real. I think I'm leaning more toward programmed, although if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section. Retro Fornicator, I'm sure you can tell me what they are or not. Let's go on to the style of drumming, though. There's lots of double kicks, blast beats. There's even some gallop style patterns going on here and there. Definitely some Europe or Euro blasts, and the odd tom fill occasionally to spice up the rest of the tracks where needed. So not bad drum-wise, whether they're performed live or programmed. All right, let's move on to my favorite tracks of this album. Starting with number 2, track number 2 that is Raging Satanic Aggression. Funny thing about this though, Azzaya seems to have a inconsistency when it comes to the spelling of satanic. Sometimes it's with an IK, sometimes it's with an ICK. I'm not sure what the point or purpose of that is, if there's any significance. Also, maybe let me know in the comment section or otherwise if there's a difference between satanic or satanique with just a K. But yeah, Raging Satanic Aggression, the second song on the album, really set the whole tone for what's to come, and the riffs were pretty familiar sounding. I don't know if it's just black metal has this general kind of style of riffage, but I maybe noticed some Drakir sounding riffs in there. Maybe I'm getting up by my own ass a little bit with assuming there might be some Drakir homages in there, since these guys just started in 2021, or it's just a general black metal style of riffing. Either way, I liked it, and Raging Satanic Aggression is certainly what you can expect for the rest of the album. Moving on all the way down to track number 9 is another one of my favorites, Evoking the Rites of Sabbath. No, not Black Sabbath, just maybe the Witches' Sabbath. Anyways, this track had a cool intro riff, had that little like chung 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 feel to it. Terrible audio description of it, but they also had some nice drum fills throughout. Again, probably programmed, I'm not quite sure. I enjoyed what I heard though, and there's also a couple of moments where there's this chaotic shrill guitar part. Nice bit of spice there. Enjoyed that. And the third track I really enjoyed off this album is number 11, Invocation of the Chaosepharith Mantra. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. Anyways, it also had a cool beginning riff in it. I like how it was different from the majority of the tracks on this album. Also surprised me with this sort of not slow, but medium-paced, doomy, groovy riff mid-song. I think it returned a later half of the song as well, but I really enjoyed that riff in there. So yeah, tracks 9, 11, and 2 were my favorite off of this album. Now, my general thoughts about this album was that it was a blistering pummel fest of speed and aggression, no doubt. They've got riffs and beats that'll drill into your head and probably explode your brains a bit. The unrelenting blast of black metal with no exceptions is what they had going on here. If you came here looking for easy listening, this ain't it. Azzaya is here to rip and carve with no mercy, let me tell you. Think of Dark Funeral's Red albums with more necro and less fucks to give. So there you go there. Now, before we end out this review, let's talk about some weaknesses and improvements before I give my final rating. The vocals could be a bit more refined and worked on, I feel like, with more experience and further recording in the future. Greedo could be pretty formidable force vocal wise, and I feel like the mix could have been a little louder, so maybe slightly louder in the mix next time for sure, because if those vocals do get refined, I definitely want to hear them. Another thing that I could think of was maybe some variety in the pacing and riff styles. I really enjoy those groovy, mid-paced, doomy riffs that showed up here and there. I do enjoy the odd shrilling guitar, little raking things that happened as well. So those are nice change of pace and quick little spice up parts of the songs, but I could definitely use more groove and maybe some thrash influences here and there if it's really to pique my interest. And maybe the last thing is probably a more defined bass sound. I understand this is black metal and low thumping sound isn't what we're really trying to go for in black metal. However, you don't have to turn up the low megahertz to get my interest going when it comes to the bass. You just have to have it present and definable. So that is the only weaknesses and improvements I could think of for this album. So with that, I do think I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 or a 70 out of 100 ranking for Azzaya's Thy Satanick Ascension. Cheers and thanks for watching. I'm Jesse Morgan, and I would buy this album. For glory, for the rebellion, Slammerella out. Thy Satanick Ascension, fuck.